So, good morning and welcome to Being Your Own CEO Success Circle for solopreneurs. I do say good morning because because that's what it is for me. However, I'm very much aware that my guests in the green room this morning are just postponing their dinner in order to participate. So I thank you for that. I just would like to say by way of introduction that we get together in this success circle because we enjoy each other's company, and isn't it great to be able to enjoy each other's international company? And we do enjoy sharing ideas and information and learning from one another. So. And for me, it's very much about my own set of values, which is about sharing and giving and receiving support. My name is Lolan, and I've been in business since 1996, helping people get where they want to go. So just because we have a few new people around this morning, I will review our principles, our operating principles, for everyone's benefit. So our principles include relationships before business. And you can get everything in life and business if you help enough people get what they want. That's attributed to Zig Ziglar. And we stand for positive possibilities and keep an open mind. And boy, oh boy, that's really important for any of us that are in business, to be able to keep an open mind. And we never sell anything that we are not prepared to deliver impeccably. So those are our principles. And I'm going to invite everyone to introduce themselves, and usually I do that in the order in which they came, and I'm just needing to tell Nathan shortly I will send you an invitation. I see he's saying that he can't get in, so I will do that shortly. So Vivek, you were here first. You're always here first, so you get. So please, for everybody who's going to introduce themselves, please say your name and say where you are and what you do, and then share with us a piece of good news, a discovery, a win, a learning, something that is significant for you this morning. So go ahead, Vivek, away you go.
Namaste. My name is Vivek. I hear an echo. Namaste. My name is Vivek. Vivek Technology is my website, and I believe in living a simple life. I believe in thinking differently. I am proud to share my belief with Steve Jobs and Leonardo da Vinci, who said simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication. So I'm a software developer, and project management is what I want to do, software project management. So if you have a project and you're struggling to find ways to integrate it, you can reach me through my Google Plus profile or various other means, and you can reach me. At the moment, I am in the UK, close to London. It is quite hot today. It is really hot. Possibly going to be the hottest day of the year. They were predicting 36 degrees centigrade. So it's really hot, and Good news was I did share it on in our green room. Google Plus is going to be part of the core services that are provided by Google. So Google Plus is not going anywhere. It's going to be integrated more and more into what Google does. So all those who said Google Plus is dead, buried, and yes, they were all wrong.
Oh, that's interesting. So that means that we're all coming back to Google.
Those who are open to change, only they will come to Google.
Yeah, right. Well, and you know, I mean, Vivek, you're always really shy about saying what you're good at. So not only are you a programmer and all of that, but boy, oh boy, if there's anybody that knows how to do a whole lot of things online, it's Vivek. So I encourage people to get to know him because he sure knows how to do a lot of things. So
thank you.
Now let me see, who was the second person? I think it was you, Alana. So how would you like to introduce yourself next?
Okay. I unmuted myself. Okay, so I am Alana Birmingham, and I'm living in Ireland for about 19 plus years now, and I'm trying to make a living online for the last couple of years. And it's, you know, Vivek, I understand what you're saying about the heat. It's 27 here, and I'm loving it, I have to say. I'm loving the heat. And come wintertime when we're freezing, I'm going to remember back at this time and say, didn't we have a great summer? So, yeah, I only just discovered your little group chats thing here and getting to know everyone and learning all kinds of new stuff. So, with that in mind, I will pass the baton to next in line, whoever that may be.
But first of all, when you said you're making a living online, what exactly do you what is your business online? What do you do?
It's called Online Income and Resources, and I started it I think about 1.5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I was actually doing way too much. I had three sites that were my own. I had another couple of sites I was working on for people that were friends of mine. That kind of turned out to be a disaster. And when people tell you don't mix business with friendships, they're probably right. So that was unfortunate. So, you know, I wasn't getting paid and whatever. But anyway. So now I'm focusing on that website. I let another one of my sites lapse because I wasn't getting any sales on that site. So my main site I'm focusing on right now is Online Income and Resources, and I'm hoping to make that a go. Oh,
right on. Okay. I just think everybody out there needs to know that. So, well, welcome here. It's so nice that you came back. You were here for the first time last week. So nice to see you again. Right on.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So Heidi, I think you were the next person who came online. So
next one, yes. I'm in Italy, and we have only 34 today, or 35, and tomorrow will be 37, and it's quite hot. No, but I like better hot than cold. So, in terms of business, I'm more a hangout host, and I'm interested in philosophy, let's say existential problems, existential ideas, and we have created the Wisdom Factory, which should be on my lower third, and it's about the evolution of consciousness. And I'm doing this for about 2 years, 3 years, 2.5 years, and I've noticed that there is no money coming in. So I now think I have to switch a little bit, change gears, and really think about business, which is not my native thing to do. And thanks to you and Jay, I now have discovered this wealthy affiliate thing and trying to get my head around keywords and all this stuff. You know. And I will begin to look into it, try it out, and then later, when I know how to do, then I will promote what I really want to do with this online courses about relationships, about women growing up and becoming visible in the world and things like that. But I sort of postpone it a little bit until I know how marketing goes, because so far my successes are worse than minimum, let's say. Okay, that's about me, I guess.
Well, and I really want to say I have attended many of Heidi's hangouts from the sidelines, listening in and adding comments and so forth. And I have to say that I was very attracted to what she and her partner Mark have been doing because they're well, I guess the piece we have in common, or that I found in common, was our interest in Ken Wilber's Integral movement. So that's the whole piece about the evolution of consciousness. So that's been a great interest of mine for a long time. So, and as a coach, and Heidi, I believe you are a coach as well, are you not? Yeah.
Yeah.
As coaches, these are concepts that are very, very helpful to us.
Yeah. My main interest, let's say, in life is to find out how people tick, how humans, you know, and and help them to myself and them then to get life a little bit in a different way by understanding more, you know. That's the
curiosity.
Basic interest I have. Yeah.
Right on.
Now finding out how to get money out of that. This is the enigma, the big question mark.
Yes, I get that. I'm so glad you've joined us, and I'm so glad you've joined a Wealthy Affiliates as well. I think that's going to you'll find it very helpful. It's a big and helpful community for sure.
So far, the experience was perfect. Every question I had in 3 minutes was answered, more or less 3 minutes, maybe half hour. But
yeah, that's good. Right on. So now I'm trying to think who came next. I think, Craig, it was you.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm enjoying a nice 77 or so degree day here. We got a little bit of breeze, so I decided to move my office out to the backyard. So that's why my background is different than most times. So my name's Craig, and for those of you that don't know, I go by Lab Man inside Wealthy Affiliate. I'm coming up on my 6th year anniversary here next couple of weeks, so I've been with WA for quite a while. Not as long as some people, but it's a wonderful community. My main focus right now is trying to help local businesses with their online presence, and I do quite a bit of affiliate marketing as well. So that's my background.
Right on. So welcome. Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah. Now let me see who came next. I don't know whether it was Jay or Barbara. It might have been Barbara. So Barbara, how would you like to introduce yourself? And we can really hardly see your face, so you might want to tilt your camera a little bit.
Okay. All right. That better?
A little better, yeah.
Okay. I'm Barbara. Sorry, I'm choking to death, but sorry. I'm Barbara DeLucio. I'm also in Wealthy Affiliate. I have a business, but it definitely doesn't make any money. It just spends money. It's managed to get me deeply into debt. So I don't know. I know it's my fault. I keep chasing after shiny objects, and I do, you know, and I. It's and now I mean I have so many things going on that I don't even I can't even, you know, when I'm doing one I'm thinking about the other, and I'm, you know, it's just kind of like I'm gonna have to do something to change it. But I mean really the main the main thing I would really like to do, if you know, my main interest would be to develop WordPress, kind of like what Jay does, with develop WordPress applications and SEO. Those are the things I really like, but because I'm just not good at marketing. I mean, I just suck at it. So, you know, anyway, that's about where I am.
Well, and so this is also, Barbara, this is your second time with us in being your own CEO.
Right.
And I think you'll find that most of us dislike marketing.
Oh.
It's a necessary evil if you're going to be in business. We all just have to learn how to do it.
Yeah, even if you're just doing if you're doing what you want, the websites and the other, somebody has to market you.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
I've actually hired somebody to market me, even though I don't have any money. This is why I'm broke. She's helping me to get my websites known and stuff.
Right. Well, it's hopefully we'll all gain some insights around some of these business issues. This is what this success circle is about: being your own CEO.
And making money.
Well, absolutely. So welcome here.
Thank you.
Now then, Jay, I think you were next.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, hi. My name is Jay, and my company is Magi Studios, and I help people get started in the world of online marketing. I hail from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, and I love marketing. I love doing marketing. I love teaching marketing. I love absolutely every single grain that has everything to do with marketing. And Barbara, you inspired me to create a webinar on the fear of marketing and how to bypass that. Because I think one of the biggest fears people have with marketing is rejection. So I think that's something that I'm planning to cover.
Okay, well, that'd be good.
That's going to be on your Friday afternoon thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. That's cool.
Yeah, and you know, you're not the first one to say that, you know, having a fear of marketing. So, you know,
Can you send that around somehow? Give us the information then when you plan it.
Well, it gets announced. It's a thing inside Wealthy Affiliate. It gets announced inside Wealthy, so you would actually get an email when it appears.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you have to be a premium member, I believe.
That is correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So welcome, and it sure is nice to have somebody among us who really loves marketing.
Yeah. Wow, how weird.
So that's cool. Let's see. I think Nathan, you were next. I think.
Yeah.
You're we're not hearing you, Nathan. So maybe while you mess around, we'll go to Susan. You want to go next, Susan? You're on mute.
Sorry, I was trying to fix my speakers and headset, and I didn't hear you called on me. I don't know what's happening here. I used to, whenever I'd plug my earbuds in, it would bring up something to automatically switch the speakers off, and now that's not working anymore. So I hope I'm not causing feedback. Anyway, I'm Susan Joy Schlief, and I should be working on my job right now, but I really wanted to hear this topic, so I'm going to stay for a little while at least. I do have a full-time job where I do training videos, software training for the staff. I also am in the same position as many of you that have described, you know, trying to offer a service online and so far not making much money at it. I offer to help entrepreneurs and professionals with their content marketing, helping them to get their message more concise and to add storytelling and visuals to make it more engaging so people actually you know, want to take action on your offer. And I'm getting close to finishing my book about that topic, which is called Get Your Message into Their Brains.
Right on. And is that going to be an ebook or a hardcover or both?
It's going to be a paperback print book. Yep.
Right on.
Oh, and I do have a Saturday morning hangout show as well called Creative Marketing TV, and Lowell Ann has been on it recently, and Nathan's going to be on it next month.
Oh, right on. So nice to have you here, Susan.
Yes, to be here.
Yeah, right on. So now, Nathan, what about your system? Are we going to hear you this time? No, we're not hearing you. So perhaps when you get that rolling, so I might just say a little something about what I do. Oh, and Susan, you're in Chicago, right? Yeah?
Yes, I am in Chicago. Right
Yeah.
now it's not too bad, but it is getting hot, and we're supposed to be up to about 95 by Thursday, which I think translates to about 40 centigrade, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Well,
well, no, actually, I think the heat index is supposed to be over 100, and that's probably about 40. It's been so long since I thought in centigrade, I'm not sure I'm translating that right, but yeah, it's hot right now, getting hotter.
That's really hot.
Yeah. So I might share with you a little something about what I do, and I'm in Victoria as well, and it's probably not even 20 degrees here. So it was a very pleasant walk I had this morning. At 6:30, it was I needed a jacket and a turtleneck sweater, so it was it's quite comfortable here. I'm glad it's not 30 or 40. So what do I do? My business is called Work Style Lifestyle Consulting, and I work with solopreneurs. I do both business and career coaching, and sometimes there's really a very thin line between those two things. And I might just point everybody to my website where I have something relatively new, not brand new, but it's called the Portable Business Coach. And if you're looking at your business and wondering what the heck do I need to do, etc., you might like to go in, and it's a self-evaluation tool that would help you sort of figure out where you really need to put put some additional focus on your business, and those are the pieces that I like to focus on. I notice that a lot of other people look at marketing, but there are lots of other pieces that go with your business that need to be paid attention to, so I like to help people with that. So this morning I'm noticing, I'm going to share this because I want everybody to know Roland is out there, and if I just get a minute, I shall invite him in, and he can join us, I think. Have I got enough room? Yeah, I think I do. So, so Roland, I'll be with you shortly, I think. And there's another piece. So I'm just letting you know that I can now get Comment Tracker is working for me. But now I'm trying to get rid of that. How do I do that? There, did it. I did it. So let's have a little conversation this morning about the importance of images and what are some of the things that we really need to pay attention to in relation to all of our presence online. And we all have a variety of presence. We have our websites, we have our blog sites, we have our Google Plus, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have all of Pinterest and all those various things. So what do we really need to do to pay attention to? Well, I guess the first piece is to realize that we are becoming a very, very visual population these days, now that we're all online. And it seems that we have less and less patience to read great long missives. And I mean, the visual piece is extremely, extremely important. So wherever our presence is, we need to pay attention. So would anybody like to begin by saying what's so important about having good images?
Excuse me. It dictates how people are going to respond to whatever message that you are showing, or trying to get people to go to. So, do you remember? I don't know if I'm sure everyone here remembers Sears catalogs, right?
Yeah.
and how happy everyone was, and like why are these dudes in underwear for underwear, that they're selling underwear? Why are they so happy in their underwear, leaning back a little bit and looking at their watch? Like it doesn't make any sense. But because they were happy, because they had this big smile, a very genuine looking smile, it made you smile. Smiles are addictive. So when you create an emotion with a visual image, that emotion reflects on how that person's going to feel when they go and click or read on the article or whatever it is that you're trying to associate. So it's really about emitting or trying to get an emotion out of someone even before they read. It's that visual dangling carrot, okay? And I think there is a delicate art to choosing images when it comes to having images associated to your social media posts, for example. I'm sure everyone here so everyone here is on some sort of social media platform, including Google Plus. If anyone here is on Instagram, you'll probably notice that there are a variety of inspirational quotes pepper spray all over Instagram, along with Facebook and all these other social media.
Okay, excuse me. Is everybody else hearing some static there? It may be your transmission, Jay.
Yeah.
It's a bit garbled. Oh, Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan, are you able to?
Yeah, we heard you.
Yeah, I had the wrong headphone thing plugged in. It was interfering with my microphone. It was one of these three-prong things instead of the two-prong one that I normally use for hearing. I don't normally use my headphones anymore, but I have a fan going, and it interferes with the sound, so I'm using these at least for now.
All right. So do you want to introduce yourself, because you didn't get to do that?
This is true. Yeah, my name is Nathan. I'm hailing from Ensenada, Baja California, Mexico. Temperatures going up to about 86 today, or 26 in Celsius. My thing, currently I've been wearing a couple of hats. One is about showing people how to free themselves from issues to do with bullying and the trauma that goes with it. The second thing is what I call the done-for-you publishing system, which will show an author how to go from zero to published author very quickly using the art of interviewing. And so I've been working on that quite a bit and promoting it. And Lolan, you've been seeing some of my posts and so on.
Yes, I've seen you've created a group on Facebook, have you not?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I was doing a bit of research to find out what would be a really good way to get things going. It was partly because of what's happened with Blab, and the feedback I got was to create a group. I thought of doing a meetup, but that causes problems for me down here. And I thought, no, I'd rather keep it online. It just makes it a lot easier. So I created a group, and people have been joining it and so on.
So that's where I've seen most of what you have posted. And by the way, while we're on the topic of Facebook groups, Susan Joyce Leaf has a group, and I have a group. Does anybody else have a group on Facebook? I don't know.
Yeah, I have a group.
Oh, you have a group too. I know that Mark.
Anything.
Yeah, Mark has a group as well. Yeah. Yeah.
I also maintain a group for the Crohn's infection, but it's not my group per se. So.
Right on.
But so it's one of the projects that I work on. So. Yeah.
So we're all over there to some degree. Now, before we go any further, Roland has joined us. Roland, please unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Welcome here. We're not hearing you. I can see that you're speaking, but I'm not hearing you. So we will just see if we can carry on here, and go back to our topic. We were talking about why are visuals important, and I agree with you so much, Jay, when you say it's important to create an emotion, and that visuals are able to do that. And I might add that not only pictures add to the emotion, but I find color has a huge impact on me. I mean, it's probably the first thing that I respond to. Is color before the visual, or before the image.
A while ago, I dedicated an entire webinar on the psychological emotion behind color and how certain colors project emotions.
Yeah.
You know. So and we use that to our advantage, and we use that in city planning. Like stop signs. The nice big red thing to get your attention and stuff like that. So. Does everyone here know who David Ogilvy is? David Ogilvy is an ad man from the 50s, and he was kind of really considered a real brilliant marketer when it comes to ad copy and associating things to visuals to ad copy, right? If I may, I'd like to quickly share an image. And it just kind of sums up what we were talking about here. Here, I'll just do that one here. So this ad is a David Ogilvy ad, and it's for the shirt. So, you know, with the exception of the eye patch, everything else is pretty much, you know, the standard ad for, you know, a T-shirt or a shirt ad, right? But David Ogilvy is always the kind of person that wants to create a persona, something that's going to draw your eye towards something, and that is why they had this person wear an eye patch. And so it's just such a simple, subtle thing where it kind of makes you go,
oh, what's that about?
Yeah, you lean in and go, oh, what's this, right? And based on the success of this ad, they had started doing all these other kind of ads, right, with that same guy. Now, I'm sure everyone here knows the ad. It's for a beer commercial for the most interesting man in the world. It is for it's stop screen sharing here. There we go. So it's for a Dos Equis. It's for a beer commercial, and it's about how he does all these amazing things. That ad is based on this ad, this concept on how popular it was that they kind of ended up creating this personality for this thing, right? So it ended up creating an emotion, and when you create an emotion, you can kind of carry that forward, right? So I think it's really important to have those inside your social media posts at the very least, you know. And there's a plethora of free resources that you can get. So Nathan there's another thing that Nathan did, and that was the ad copy, right? Great ad copy that he was really good at. You know, I mean, there's tons of free visual resources at your disposal that you can use within your social media posts, your ad copy, your websites, you know. I think, though, it's just important to make them personal to you, you know, make them something where people kind of go, oh, that's Craig's image, oh, that's, you know, Nathan's image, and so on and so forth, right? Something
that's what branding is all about, though, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Personal connection and an emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's partly about branding, but it's also about knowing how to choose images that are not just the same images that everybody else is using and the same visual metaphors that everybody else is using. Like, I read a blog post recently about, you know, let's not ever see another post with gears meshed together or with people shaking hands, you know, all those visual metaphors that are effective until everybody starts using them, and then they're not effective anymore. Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, they're overused and cliche, right? Mm-hmm. And really one of the most important reasons for using visual images is because they catch attention in the news feed. They're not going to catch attention if they're the same images people see all the time. So you either have to use a different image, or you have to crop it differently, or colorize it differently, or do something that's going to stand out.
That's kind of why Ogilvy's image with the eye patch, it creates a cognitive dissonance.
That's right.
So that actually the emotion kicks in because it doesn't make sense to the intellect.
Right. Yeah, and I want to add something, too, to what Jay was saying about color, and Loanne, too, about how powerful color is. And that's because it's actually one of the, people talk about this statistic a lot of that we process visual information 60,000 times faster than text information. And that is sort of true, but people are using it to mean something that it doesn't really. There are certain kinds of visual information that our brain processes almost instantaneously. Color is one of them. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean that when you post a picture in Facebook that people are going to process that 60,000 times faster than text. It depends on the picture. It depends on how complex it is, on how quickly people can recognize what's in the picture. that's not necessarily going to apply that same statistic. But things like color, things like comparison of sizes, or if you have a whole bunch of images that are the same and then there's one that's different, that kind of visual contrast is processed really, really fast. But it doesn't necessarily apply to any kind of visual image.
Boy, those that whole concept of cognitive dissonance and contrast, that's very interesting. Very interesting. So, Roland, I see you. You're here again. Do you want to try again? I feel as though you should be given an opportunity to introduce yourself.
It doesn't matter to me. Can you hear me yet?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm Roland. That's enough from that. Just carry on.
Oh, come on. Tell us a little bit about what you do, because there are people who have never met you.
I'm one of the internet marketers that get lost in the bunch. I'm radically different than a lot of people, and therefore I don't have a lot of friends who are internet marketers. So I'm glad to be here with you guys. I love what Susan had just said regarding images, and it's like everything else. There are systems and there are strategies and there are what do you call it? Plans and this is a word I'm trying to reach for. It's like the systems that people develop and say, I've got this this foolproof strategy to make success out of what you're doing, and they say do this and this and this and this, and then you get to the end of it and say, oh, why didn't it work? And people are wondering, well, because how you did it matters as much as why you did it and what you do.
Yeah.
And so her point is well taken. It's like you got to work out exactly what your impact is trying to be, and you have to be cognizant of what the human element is and smart at the same time. And some people are some of those things, but not very few people are enough of them to make their plan work. And that's the problem. You need some heads together. You need people seeing it from different sides and someone to guide the whole process to something that works. So it's all in the plan and in the execution.
Right. So I'm happy you're here, Roland.
Thank you.
It's a long time no see.
Yeah, I barely made it.
So Heidi, I think I saw you waving there at one point. I think there was something you would like to contribute.
Yeah, I wanted to say I always am in the problem of finding pictures for blog posts or whatever. And then I go to these image channels, and I exactly find these images which I have seen more or less the same in the same way. And they're also, let's say in German, licht. They are also cool. They're cool in the sense without really emotions. They are also over stylized, over perfect, or even the graphics, the arches. And you have seen it twice, 3 times, and then don't want. I don't like to use these things for my post because I don't feel them. So I end up with putting in my own photos. I'm doing photos like a master. Everywhere where I go, I do photos, and then I hope I find some photo of mine to put in where I need it. It's not always the case, but sometimes it is, and certainly not a strategy because, for situations probably I don't have the possibility to have a photo. But only my contribution was the problem to find the right photos which first serve what you write or what you want to promote or whatever, and that has a connection with yourself. Yeah. Because I couldn't just use a photo because somebody tells me that photo is good when I think, oh, that's not good, I don't like it.
Yes. I noticed everybody nodding when you said something about doing your own pictures and so forth, and that's bound to have. I mean, if you're using your own pictures, it's bound to have an element of yourself in it, and I couldn't agree more. I think we all need to do a lot more of that. So, Alana, I think I saw you waving.
Yeah, I just, during that conversation, it just kind of made me think about the images I've chosen myself. I know that's a very narrow point, but it's my only point of reference. And I'm just thinking there's also the other side of the coin where you pick pictures or images that are too boring or that don't pop on your page, and it will cause someone to say, I'm moving on. So now I'm thinking maybe I need to go back and kind of rejig a few images, because I tend to just grab something that looks vaguely connected to what I'm trying to convey and then throw it up there and hope something sticks.
I think it's an art. It's a practice. It's a practice art. It's just something. So I think going back and changing images. That's all right. I don't think I would just kind of think going forward versus going back and changing existings. The other thing here is, we're having some great discussion on so many different elements in choosing an image, but I'd like to propose the question: do you think that people tend to overthink the images? In terms of like, oh, is this going to be associated to this? Is this going to be, Now, the reason why I say that is for me, I find that it's quite easy to just kind of find images, but it's not my first pony show, so I think it's also based on my experience of just doing it over the years. Actually, and one thing I want to mention is that a couple times, Craig has these labby after wabbies, as we call them. It's featured on the Elmer Fudd channel, and it's the
Fudd channel.
It's a little webinar or a Google Hangout that he broadcast after my webinars on Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific. And a couple times what we've done is we've done a fun little game where he'll show these random images, and then we come up with the title of what that image would be associated with, right? So that would be associated to an article or something like that, So, and it was a lot of fun, It was totally a lot of fun. So, quick example is like that image there. Seeing that image, what would be a marketing title, a title of an article that you would write about,
Time is fading away.
Yeah. How much? Mine would be how much time? How long does it take to earn money with affiliate marketing? Because that is such a common question that I get, right? Yeah. And I think with the aged clock, I think it makes a metaphorical point. So, but anyways, that's what we used to do, and everyone should do once in a while. It's just kind of go and check out images and just come up with titles in your head. Call it good practice, so that when you actually need an image, then you've got that kind of practice in your brain that you can work with.
You're right. Figuring out a metaphor. It's really understanding and making use of metaphors. It's not always easy to do. So word association, picture association. Those are all exercises to open up your brain. Yeah.
That's a feature we should probably bring back.
Yeah, it's an excellent practice, and most people, or I should say a lot of people, don't think about it that way, but that's something that I'm always looking at is, that's an interesting image. Is there some way that I can use that, and what bunch of phrases will pop into my head? If there's enough of them, then I download the image and keep it to use. So.
Yeah. So I know that Vivek, it looks like he's dropped off, but he was suggesting earlier that we kind of look at ways to places to find interesting images. I mean, we talked about not using hackneyed images that everybody uses all the time. So, and yes, it's great to take your own pictures if you can, but sometimes, I know for myself, for my Monday mindset, you know, it depends on what I'm writing about, and sometimes it needs to be a fairly practical picture. And sometimes it's you know, to just go and do a Google search for, you're going to see the hackney. And so I'm wondering if anybody in the group has stumbled on, and I know, Jay, you have, because I've seen seen that you mention them, but there are a variety of places to find images and to you know, to play around. So anybody have any interesting sites where they find interesting and unusual images? Roland.
Yeah, I can. Oh,
I was just going to mention, do people know how to search in Google for a sign for reuse images, the ones that are non-licensed? Because a lot of people don't know how to do that.
And it would be, I know how to do it, but it would be a good idea if you shared that, because among our viewers there may be people who do not know that. So,
all right.
Yes, because you don't want to use images that belong to people.
So I'll do a share screen real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And go to Google. In Google search, if you just go to the images section and say car, search car, you get all these cars. But more than likely. But if you take the same titling and go under search tools and drop over a couple sections to usage rights and drop down to labeled for reuse, it's going to filter out about 90% of these. Now, these are labeled for reuse, and you can use these. So you have a few commercial shots that are allowed to be reused. But you've got a lot of other things too. And you may find something that's even more interesting than a stock photo. So there's still a lot here. I mean, there's a lot to use, and you can use your imagination and go through. But if you're looking for a car, you can usually find something that'll work for what you're doing. So that's the main thing I was just going to show.
You know, I actually use a slightly different method. The problem with this, Roland, is that you are going to get some images in there that are labeled for reuse, but only for personal use, as opposed to commercial. And, you know, if you're posting it on social media, that's probably considered personal use. But I generally try to look for the ones that are labeled for commercial use and that they can be modified.
Yeah.
Because depending on what I'm doing with it, sometimes I do end up cropping it or adding text over it. So, oh, you closed your, I was just going to talk you through how to do it, but.
Oh, let's go. Hang on.
So if you bring up the images again.
Okay, here they are.
Go over to the right. No, way over to the right. And go to advanced search.
Lala, maybe you want a white box?
Roland, please, so we can see it.
Let me back up one step. Okay, so my white box?
Yes.
Okay.
No, you're not. Okay. I always see other people popping up.
Heidi, just select Roland in the film strip.
Okay. But also for the recording would be good to see the whole thing.
Yeah, but basically everyone can turn their mics off except for Lowell Ann, and that'll eliminate a lot of the...
Well, and I have to leave mine on so I can tell you what to do.
Oh, I guess you do, don't you? Okay, so are we good?
All right, so
see this okay.
You might want to clear out what you had in there, Roland. So change your usage rights back to
okay.
Not filtered. There you go. and then go over to the right and click on the gear. Go to
Oh.
Advanced Search, and now scroll all the way down to the bottom one where it says Usage Rights. And maybe you can get to this on yours too, but I choose the last one, free to use, share, or modify even commercially.
Very good.
And then click Advanced Search.
Yeah.
Now, this is going to give you two categories of images. One is public domain, which I saw Nathan mentioned earlier, that you can do anything you want with. And the other is going to be Creative Commons, which has various different kinds of licenses. Sometimes you might need to give attribution, or there might be other restrictions that they have in that Creative Commons license. But everything that comes up here should be free to use commercially and free to modify. You know, whether or not it's entered correctly on the website is always questionable, so you do want to confirm that. And I usually tell people, if you see something that comes up on as from an image sharing site, then you know the license is probably correct.
Can I jump
If
in
you
here
get
real
something
quick?
that's on somebody's blog post, then I don't even bother looking at it, because you know they
That's
aren't
right.
tagging it correctly.
Thank you for that. That was good.
Can I just jump in real quick on
Yeah.
what I saw and with this method of searching images?
Yeah.
In terms of how Google places those images in there is very it's certainly not linear, and it's quite cryptic. So one thing I did see within that realm of images that were apparently we can use for commercial purposes or not, I saw a car, I think it was the Google car, and it had Google right across on the side door there. Now I know if I use that image of a Google vehicle and Google saw that, they would not like that. So take that with a grain of salt, I think. You know, I personally, I would never use Google Images regardless of the filter, because the way that I think that Google places those images in that filter specific is that if there is a actual license attributed to that image,
Right.
from the source of where they found that image, or what Google perceives as, okay, this image is okay. So it's a very big gray area. So I please urge everyone here to use that method with a grain of salt.
Well,
I personally don't use free images any longer. I use purchased images. I have a subscription to Adobe Stock, which is a monthly subscription, and it gives you, I don't remember how many you get a month, but it certainly fills my needs where I don't need to worry about, you know, Creative Commons realities or anything like that. And then it's peace of mind for me, you know. I actually was attempted to be sued many years ago when I purchased a package of website themes. This is a long time ago, before WordPress, that had images which I assumed were okay to use because that's how it was advertised. And the company Taxi came after me saying, "Hey, you know, you're using licensed images. You owe us $2,000."
Oh.
So, anyways, it was quickly resolved.
Yeah, these days the fines are much higher than that. So,
Yeah.
But you bring up a really good point, Jay, and that there are actually two categories that I know of in addition to copyright that you need to think about, and they're not going to be caught by this Google search method because it's only looking at the copyright status. But regardless of copyright, and this is true even if you buy the image, you shouldn't be using anything that's trademarked, which is what the Google car would be. And you have to be careful of property rights and personality rights. So usually on a paid image site, they will have a model release that covers the personality rights. They won't necessarily have the property rights, which applies for some buildings. and you don't really know which buildings have those rights restricting their usage. So it's just something like Disneyland, for instance, is one where you can't show a picture of Disneyland commercially because you don't have the rights to do that. But it can apply to other famous landmarks too, and it's just really hard to know which ones are covered and which ones are not. So I try to stay clear of those as well. But yeah, those are in addition to copyright. Those are something that you need to be aware of.
I'm learning a great deal here.
Yes, I am too.
You know, I have a lot of this covered in a ebook that I created for a course I did last year. Is it all right with you, Lowell Ann, if I post a link to that in the comments?
Please do, but please put it on the comment page and not...
There is an opt-in for it, but the ebook is free. It's about 20-some pages. It's got a lot of information in it.
Yeah, put it on the event page rather than in the group chat, because the group chat is not viewable to our viewers.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just as you're saying that, I tend to agree with Jay. I finally decided a long time ago that most of what I use I purchase. I've used iStock, which is fair. They're quite expensive. I use Envato images, which are much less expensive. You know, you can go in and put $20 in and get an image that you need for something for $2 or $3. So I sure like the peace of mind that you get from that. But this whole piece about personality and location and a couple of, you know, some of those other things, those are pieces that I hadn't considered. So I appreciate that, Susan. Yeah.
I just posted in the chat a nice resource for old type images, kind of archival based images, and I've used it often. It's a great resource. We're talking like really old images here. So
where did you post it?
In the group chat. It's called New Old Stock. So it's just the one caveat to it is that you have to scroll through it. I don't think they have a search feature anymore, but just like that's a fun one. Like I would use this one on like how to start a YouTube channel or something like that, you know.
Right.
But they're great. It's a great resource of old images, you know. Like look at that. I think that's a great images, you know.
So
so it's nostwnsnd.co.
Yeah.
Very cryptic. So, but
right on.
Yeah.
Well, folks, I see that it is 5 after 10 already. Where did the morning go? So it really seems as though we could talk about images for a long time. There seems to be a lot of information that we need to know, and and I'm sorry we're missing Vivek. Something must have happened to his system, because he was going to share with us how to find images from Google Docs. So that's a place that I don't think I've ever looked for images. So I was kind of looking forward to that. So, but he seems to have dropped off this morning. So maybe we can cover that another time. So
the resource that I use that has no restrictions is Pixabay. You can use any of the images that are on that site at any time for any purpose and without attribution. So it's a wonderful place. There's a good variety of pictures that can be shared.
And
that's one of my favorites.
I think Pixabay is what isn't that the one that has a few at the very beginning that you do have to purchase or attribute?
It has a row at the top that is their sponsor row.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not really Pixabay images. They're
affiliate. They're affiliate
iStock
links.
or I can't remember which site sponsors them, but
Shutterstock.
Shutterstock. Okay.
Yeah, they're affiliate links. So because Shutterstock has an affiliate program, and it's basically how Pixabay, gets paid for having free images. So
and most of the free sites will have some kind of sponsored images like that. So you have to be careful.
This is another one that I really like is unsplash.com.
Yes, that's a really good one too.
What a great image.
And there is also a mobile app that will let you access Unsplash images from your phone or tablet.
Wow.
I'm trying to remember the name of the app.
Wow, there's some really good shots in there. And this is at Unsplash?
Mm-hmm.
This is unsplash.com, yes.
Wow.
Really excellent quality photos there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even just nice to look at,
Yes. Absolutely.
And there's a third one that my three favorites, Pixabay, Unsplash, and there's a third one called Pexels, P-E-X-E-L-S, which is also public domain images.
Pexels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe some of these sites that got put into the internal group chat we could add to outside so that anybody watching can access.
There's one other item that is interesting. Any site on a .gov is actually owned by the American people. So if you're in the USA, you can use an image off of a .gov site without restriction.
Really?
That is sort of true, but I mean technically it is true. But what I'm finding is a lot of the government websites have refurbished, and they now have different wording on their sites that you can go to them and look at the images, but they don't necessarily want you to download them. So it's gotten a little bit murky.
We'll let you look at these, but please, that's it.
Right.
So,
what if you're not American? Can you still look at them?
That's what I was going to say. Does that exclude us?
Funny. Yeah, I don't know quite how they're getting away with that because, the way I've always heard it explained is the American taxpayers have paid for those images, so they belong to us, right?
Yep. Right.
But somehow they're getting around that.
I think we should start a movement.
Right.
I believe Bernie already
worry
started.
about, right?
Make that a campaign promise.
Make America's photos free again.
Okay, on that note, folks, it's 10 after 10. I think it's time for us to draw our conversation to a close. And I'm very happy that everybody joined us here this morning. And I just want to remind you that for those especially those viewing outside, I think probably everybody inside the green room is aware, you can find lots of information suitable for solopreneurs on my Being Your Own CEO community within Google+, as well as my collection called Supports for Solopreneurs. And I invite those in the green room to post anything they would like to post there. And I really want to encourage our viewers outside to get to know the folks within the green room here. We're all here. We all do various things that are useful to various people. So I would really encourage you to get to know everyone here and to support them in whatever way that you can. So I think that that said, I think I will sign off. This is Laurel Ann signing off for this week. And thank you all for joining me.